All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're tearing into a blueprint for a pretty serious physical transformation, and it's all based on Mr. Ape's jungle routine. So, what's the goal here? It's simple. To take what the source calls a narrow rectangle physique, you know the kind, the one that comes from sitting in an office chair all day, and sculpt it into a powerful V shape. We're talking a silhouette that just commands respect. So, here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to pinpoint what's called the modern monkey problem. Then, we dive into the good stuff, building the jungle canopy, forging some massive coconuts, and mastering the magic jungle trick. And finally, we'll pull it all together so you can become the king of the jungle. Okay, so first things first, we gotta diagnose the problem, right? The whole idea here is that our modern lifestyle has kind of created this default physique that, well, it lacks a certain presence, a certain power. And this really paints a picture, doesn't it? Over on the left, you've got the modern monkey, that narrow rectangular shape, what the source hilariously calls a piece of bamboo. But on the right, that's the jungle king. That's the goal, a wide V shape, a big boss silhouette. You can literally see the shift from a passive frame to one that is active and powerful. And that really gets to the core of it, right? This whole mindset isn't just about aesthetics. It's not just about looking good. It's about building a physical form that actually projects confidence and authority. The V-taper itself becomes a statement. All right, so how do we actually do this? How do we start building that incredible V-shape? Let's get into the very first piece of the puzzle, and it's all about creating width up top. The source calls this building the jungle canopy. So the routine really hammers home two key exercises for building those lats: pull-ups and lat pull-downs. I mean, these are the absolute foundation for creating that upper body width. And the prescription is super clear. You're aiming for 3 sets in a rep range of about 8 to 12. Now, listen up, because this is absolutely crucial. It's not just what exercise you do, it's how you do it. This cue is a total game changer. It's designed to force you to engage your back muscles correctly instead of just yanking the weight with your arms. Seriously, visualize this movement, driving your elbows down and back. That's the key to making these exercises actually work. So you've got the back covered, but we're not done yet. The next target is the shoulders. The thinking here is that a wide back needs wide shoulders to really complete that V shape. Otherwise, as the source says, you just look like a triangle with no points. So this section is all about forging what they call massive coconuts. And for this, the routine gets very specific. We're talking cable lateral raises, but the technique is everything. By leaning away from that cable machine, you get what's called a deep stretch at the bottom of the movement. And that's apparently where the magic happens for shoulder growth. Notice the rep range is a little higher here too, 12 to 15 reps. And listen, the source gives a pretty hilarious but super serious warning here. The message could not be clearer. Leave your ego at the door. Trying to swing some crazy heavy weight isn't going to build your shoulders. It's just going to put you on the fast track to injury. The focus has to be on clean, perfect form with lighter weight to really hit those side delts. Okay, so we're building a wider back, wider shoulders, a wider top. Awesome. But that's only half the equation. Now we get to what the source calls the magic jungle trick, and this is all about creating a powerful illusion. And that trick, well, it all comes down to this number right here. The routine really emphasizes getting your body fat percentage down into this very specific range, 12 to 15%. This is what's described as the sweet aesthetic spot. So why is this so important? It's because it creates the illusion of width. It's all about playing with perception. When you shrink your waist by cutting down on body fat, it creates this incredible optical illusion that makes the back and shoulders you've been working so hard on look even wider by comparison. Oh, and as a nice little bonus, the source claims lower belly fat helps keep those testosterone levels higher. So we've got the exercises for width, and we've got the body fat target for the illusion. But to make all of this stick, to really make it work, we have to look at the whole lifestyle. This is how we put it all together and really own it. This whole routine really rests on 3 main pillars. First up, heavy compound lifts. Think deadlifts, squats, rows. These help send muscle fuel where it needs to go. Second, quality sleep. This is non-negotiable for preventing hormone crashes. So you got to avoid that digital doom scrolling late into the night. And third, a clean diet, full of proteins and healthy fats, so you don't end up, as they say, soft like an overripe banana. All right, let's do a super quick recap. Here's the entire blueprint, your cheat sheet. You're going to build your canopy with pull-ups and lat pull-downs. You're going to forge your coconuts with those leaning cable lateral raises. Then you hit the magic trick by targeting 12 to 15% body fat. And you support the whole thing with heavy lifting, great sleep, and a clean diet. Simple as that. And what's the end goal of all this? What's the payoff? It's to follow this blueprint, to hit that jungle gym, put in the work, and stay consistent. And so one day you look in the mirror and, in the words of the source, you can say this to yourself: a pretty fun, powerful reward for a very focused and direct plan.